pretty much the same as Sparky's airplane. Although you can see by the fuselage, it's a little bit different across the bottom of the fuselage. And right now, I've been sort of working on the back section. I just got my front section on here in the canopy like area here. And I got my stab and elevator here. I gotta make some hinges for it. I gotta put in there. Probably gonna end up right about right there. And there you go, right at that bulkhead. It's about,
At 16?
it's about 16. The elevator half, got right here. Wires in them.
You see your top block there. How much does this weigh?
That beats me.
Light.
It's pretty light.
Pretty light, but it's 10 grams.
10 grams is 10 grams. I can't make it any lighter. I don't have any lighter wood.
So you got 7 up there, that's 17 grams for the top block, right?
Yeah.
You need to lose 2 grams somewhere to get it out of the nose.
This is already hollowed out.
You're pretty thick up in here though.
Yeah, but I still got sanding to do, you know what I mean? I didn't want to. I took it down to about 1/8 of an inch.
You see your cowl.
And that's got more to take out of it after it's fiberglass.
This feels pretty good.
Still heavier than what you think it is.
Oh yeah. Feels good, but it's too heavy. It's an ounce right now, a little over.
Yeah, it's got 4 inches more, 5 inches more material on it than my normal cow does. Otherwise, that would normally be in your bottom sheeting.
This here, fiberglass painted, ready to go should be about an ounce. We can weigh mine, but
Yours isn't that big.
no.
Take that half part off of it.
Feels like you got lots of thickness right here.
Well, yeah, because I got a fiberglass it before I go any thinner with
Right.
it, because you know I don't have any structure to it. And then these are, the wires will go out of there, come out of there. Here's the, I think it was 3.7 or 3.8.
3.9. 4 ounce.
3.9. Tips haven't been sanded in and that kind of stuff, but it won't.
You
I
can't.
can't get it down to 3. There's not enough
No, there's
material
not.
there to get down to 3 because that's a build. Those are all built up.
Heavy wood. Now you could do like Hunt does. You could shape your tips, cut them off, and hollow them out. What a pain in the ass that would be.
I've done that, and I had intended to do it to this because I think those are just tacked on there right now. If I remember right, but I built them 7 months ago. I can't. Doesn't matter. I cut them off irregardless.
You're not gonna get. You're gonna. The lightest you're gonna get this maybe is 4 or 3.6 ounces. You might get 3/10. So that's a lot.
It's a lot, man.
You're at 110 grams now. You won't get it down to 100.
Probably not.
105 maybe. You might get 5 grams off of it.
A lot less comes off than what meets the eye. You think you can, but without light wood, you just don't get it. It don't happen.
Were these flaps light?
Not. There's some that could, well, they're not sanded to shape for one yet, and no, they're not the lightest in the world. I mean, you can only do so much with the wood that you got. I could make them out of build up, and I guarantee you they won't be any lighter.
You can make molded. Ooh, these feel good. Oh shit.
Yeah, until you get all the parts and pieces together and you add the glue, and then it's like, well, shoot, we're right back where we started at.
Now give me the cutoff wheel. I'll cut these axles and I'll put these things on it. We'll weigh this.
Let's flip this over once and put that cowling on there and see it. Feels pretty good right now.
After you get the heavy parts in. Oop.
Now see, if I would have just gone with the rear muffler, I could have left this piece on here and not attached it to the cowl. You just had the rear exhaust muffler right in here.
It comes back.
But with the pipe, you know, I'm gonna have a cutout back in here somewhere, and I gotta be able to get the pipe in there, so I had to do something here. This was just a convenient spot to cut it off at.
You are going to put a pipe in it?
Well, that was my plans. That's how I ran this engine before. It's the pipe out of it. Right around in there somewhere. But I had to have room to slide that in there and then get to the clamp back there. I'd like to find some more of that stuff. Can't get it. Can't get it anymore. I don't know. It's got like a. I guess you can see it. Yeah.
Did they say anything? How many are watching?
3. Nothing's being said.
Of course, I don't know. My phone's not catching it all either.
This is all lined with plywood here, just like Sparky did. It's a pretty standard way of doing that. Plywood lined all the way around the opening. Landing gear cut out. It'll go in there.
Let me see that landing gear set. Anybody know how much this weighs? I do. I just want to see how close you are here. If you're over. All landing gear should weigh 3 ounces. I mean, it
It's
doesn't
gonna
matter.
weigh at least 3 ounces no matter what you do.
This is 2.9, so you're a little under.
I got 2 more screws that go with it. Those are Mesnick carbon fiber wheel pants.
Those, oh, I'm gonna make the landing gear like that.
That's Meslick landing gear,
Yeah.
and I think they're too stiff. I think what we need is
To hollow them out, put foam in them.
we need Danny's landing gear with a little bit longer leg on it. And a square in the center.
.9, so at 1 ounce.
See how much thinner they are in the legs?
Yeah.
I mean, rather than having to run like 2.5-inch wheels, run 2-inch wheels. Save weight there.
You just pick the weight up in the landing gear is all.
Well,
It's a trade-off. You're not gonna get
yeah,
nothing.
it's all a trade-off. But the way I'm looking at it, I think these landing gears were really made for a 40 size airplane. And I don't know about having the ground clearance prop wise. Well, maybe. Be close.
Let me see your cutoff wheel.
See it?
Yeah, with the motor attached to it.
It's over there. Here, you'll need that. And you'll need that. I need to get me another keyless chuck for that.
They make a bigger cuts all bit. 5/8 of an inch.
What, the shaft diameter?
No, that ball there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
What's the shaft diameter of it though?
I don't know.
I think they go up to 1/4 inch when you get bigger than this. I can't remember what this was. 1/2 inch, 3/8.
3/8.
Well, believe it or not, that's pushing. It's a light half, but it's bigger than 3/8. These little burrs, guys, if you ever seen these things, rotary burr.
I showed him that.
These are the cat's meow. Now, you don't want to hit your finger with that puppy. It'll eat you up.
back 3.
Yeah.
Let me see a ball driver. John made me some snazzy wheel collars. Look at them babies. They're beautiful. Thank you, John.
$10,000 a pair.
Get your guess in on how much this airplane weighs now. That's what it's all about. It's all about the weight.
I need to get that stab and elevator and all that stuff stuck in there and push rod. I didn't make my push rod yet. Got half made. Yeah, I cut it. I didn't know exactly what kind of tail movement arm I was going to put on it. But now I do, so I can carry on with this. I'm making this board up for making push rods. And your push rods should be the same length as your movement arm is on the back, if everything's bent right.
That's the key. Yeah.
If you're well, you can slide the elevator before you glue it in. You can slide it forward and backwards a little teeny bit to get it exactly right. But if you want 16 inches hinge to hinge, your push rod's going to be 16 inches. Ball length ball to ball length ball, or L bend to L bend, however you situate you do it. So I made a board up, a tapped hole here, and a bolt. And a little standoff.
That's to keep them from hydraulicing apart.
Yep, exactly right. It also helps you guide everything to cut it. So you can go ahead and put your other ball length, screw it in as far as you want to screw it in. And this is set up, this is 17 and something, but it doesn't make any difference. I got marks here that I'm going to drill a hole on each one of these marks in 1/4 inch increments. So I got 16, 16 1/4, 16 and a half, 16 3/4, 17, 17 and a half. Well, anyway, that ball length screwed in there as far as I want it to go, and this one screwed on into this titanium rod end as far as I want it to go. But anyway, when you hold that rod up there, you can see right here exactly where you need to cut that rod at. Right there, and you'll end up with the correct size. So this is 17 and a half. That's correct size for 17 and a half inches. And then screw it in whichever hole you want for whatever tail movement arm you're going to have. I might actually make this out of a piece of aluminum. And not just have that laying around. It won't warp or anything like that. But when you glue these in, you can glue one end in. Like Robert said, you can glue one end in, okay. But when you go to glue this other end in, if you don't tape it or block it or put it between a couple books or something, it'll just push its way out there because air that's built up in that tube. You shove that in there, glue on it, it compresses that air and it just wants to just push it back out. And it will push it, it'll push it all the way out there. So you can lock it down on this device and just leave it. And it'll dry, without any problem.
We're on here and operate the scale.
Here's something else you can look. This is a tube off a shop vac, an old shop vac. And it's a hose end for the big 2.5-inch tubes. Well, I was going to throw this part away because it was all rotten, and I saw that end, and I said, I cut it in half, and now I got 2 half-circle sanding pieces. Glued a little piece of wood on there. You get a nice radius on top cowl or bottom cowl or top block or whatever you happen to be sanding on.
Turn that over, I guess. Or stand on its side.
Just remove it. We got enough room here, don't we? This is on there.
What's the guess, guys? How much does it weigh? This is a finished weight. $15.83. $70 ounces.
1.83. $55.877.
We only added it 3/4 of an ounce.
Almost 56 ounces. Well, most of that paint that you had was 90% thinner.
Yeah.
And clear.
I was going to set it on the table, but whatever. 55 ounces. What'd you say it was? 55 what?
Almost 56.
After I sand all this off.
55.877.
After I sand this all off, it'll be 54 ounces.
Nah.
Yeah.
You better be doing a lot of sanding. Down the bare silks bin. Even then it won't get there.
I need a short piece of 1/8-inch tubing. I didn't have any. You got any?
1/8-inch tubing for what?
My fuel filler?
You don't have any 1/8-inch tubing?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know if I got any. But I do have pieces in here.
There we go. Might have to anneal it before I take it though. I don't know how to do that over there. I had some 1/8-inch and I took it to work to anneal it. I did it with a I don't want copper.
You don't want copper?
No. I tried to do it with the cutting torch.
Yeah.
Melted.
Really? Huh.
Either one of them pieces would be fine.
I gotta get through all my scrap and look for the shortest piece.
Well, I got 2 to make.
You only got 1 to make, don't
2.
you? Don't you dig the one out of the...
No, you can't because it's rear exhaust.
Oh,
Got to have a spigot out the side. No, this is bendable. This one is.
well, they still need to be annealed because they're not. This one's been annealed. But it's sort of
Funky.
funky.
Well, let's anneal it up. What the hell is this?
Just whatever. This is just scraps of stuff that I throw in there. Little piece. You never know when you need a little piece of music wire or whatever. And
56 ounces. Not bad, not bad.
I wish mine would come out at 56, but it ain't going to. It ain't going to, I know for a fact.
We got no chatter. I don't understand why. Type in the chat box. I want to see if it's working. How do I chat in here? Oh crap. You can't chat in this. I don't know how to. I have to go get my iPad if I want to test it. I could use two short pieces of this too. Take this, drill a hole in it, so I got something to glue to. Cut it in half, make two out of this. That would probably be better.
I put them both in one piece myself.
I can do that. If you want to drill me a piece. Put a couple 1/8" holes in this. Actually, it needs to have a hole, then an 1/8" hole, then a hole, then an 1/8" hole, then a hole. So it's got some place to glue to. So there's glue on top and bottom of the.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Super dup! This thing's pricking. disappeared. Got popcorn fart. Poof. To rewind the tape to see where he went. And check the balance on this thing. He disappeared like a popcorn fart. Poof, gone.
Yeah, well, I got a circuit breaker that's going bad. And it keeps tripping itself.
And it's balanced. It's in the right spot. It's balanced. You know, with as light as this is, I could sand this all down and get another coat of clear on it.
Yeah, you probably could.
I'd probably do that. I got an outstanding shine.
Okay. You want a hole? You want 4 holes.
Right. Well, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They can all be 1/8 inch.
Well, the 2 that the tubes go through has to be 1/8 inch.
Yeah, I know, but the other 2 is just for glue to go through.
Yeah, they could be. That's a glue hole.
How close together do you want your spigots? This will be a spigot,
Right?
you got a glue hole, and then you got a spigot. So how far apart do you want those?
Make them all the same.
Space them that far apart, or
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, that looks about right.
Yeah.
Apart.
That's fine. You're only going to see 2 holes on the outside.
I understand that, but
Wait a minute. Now that I think about it, I might use this 4 because I'll put one, it's got to be close to the motor mount. This top one's got to be close to the motor mount. That'll be glue. That'll be exit. Yeah, I'll just use 4. What?
doesn't make me no difference. I'd keep drilling. 35 holes in there, not 36 holes.
See, this has to go up to the motor mount.
You're gonna come out, go up and forward, right?
No, just straight forward.
So you're just gonna L-angle it.
Right. Then that'll be a glue hole, and this one will come out and down. That'll be a glue hole. We'll just cut that off right there. Hang on. Snips.
Right there by the squares. In the rack. 3rd one in from the end, right here, that big handle.
How is he gonna cut that? I guess. Let's sand it straight.
You can take that round, that grinding bit and grind that off.
I take the sanding disc right here and sand it.
Okay, if you want to burn your fingers.
What?
If you want to burn your fingers, get the
Probably. What?
I said Ambroid, the glue of champions.
Yeah. So here's the piece that goes inside the fuselage. Now we're at 55 or 56 ounces. We don't want to goober it all up with a whole bunch of parts. We'll keep these as small as possible. File it or something, yeah. Needle file. I want a tight fit, but I don't want it that tight.
She filed. Did you get the burrs off of it?
Off what?
Which were drilling the holes.
I don't know. I used to make these that bolt, they would bolt right to the
Motor mount.
to the motor mount.
Yeah, I have an ongoing thing every year when I put those things in. Are they going to be high enough? You know, they want to be above. You want that coming out above the tank if you can, but.
I was using a wheel collar to attach this inside.
Yeah.
I don't have the 1/8" wheel collar. I do have a 3/32 I could drill out, I guess. Solder the wheel collar to this and then glue this to the inside of the, that way you can take the tubes in and out.
Yeah, that's much better than soldering the tubes to that, because then you can't mark them or anything. And there might just be a flare on the end of that one.
That's what I'll do is I'll solder wheel collars on it. And glue this and then drill through from the inside, you know, get a stick pin and poke it out, drill through.
Yep.
So one goes down and one goes forward. Let's see what this rigmarole weighs.
Nah. Well, you're going to lose about half of it, so. Whatever that might be.
3 grams.
Says not insignificant.
4 grams. It's bumping between 3 and 4. So it'll be 4 grams when I get the wheel collars on it and the glue and all that shit.
Yeah.
The way it goes, it's got to be there.
Yeah, you gotta have something to get the fuel in and let it overflow out of.
So when I go home tonight, the next video will be about making the fuel outlets. I don't think it's ready to start sanding yet.
As green as that is. I'll make one of these up real nice out of that piece of aluminum up there.
Is the chat working on this, guys? I might have to shut that phone off to get it to work. Six watching. Nobody said anything yet though. 7, that's me. Well, I typed it in here, but it didn't show up on the phone.
Really?
Yeah. So it probably needs to be shut off and restarted. 7 watchers and 8 thumbs up, so we better give me a thumbs up here. How do I do that on this? More. Oh, there we are. Really lagging behind. Yeah. Hi, John. Jonathan Cortis.
Talking to me or you talking to him?
Him. Says, hi, John. Hiya, Sparky. Your age's clone. John looks great.
Well, a clone. I don't know. They're a little bit different. I mean, the wing's the same. Stab and elevator's the same.
Carotis. Okay. Carotis.
Is that right?
Is that right?
Yes.
I wonder why. Live chat. There we are. Cadrona. Clone Drona. Okay, whatever. I must have pushed a button to kill the chat. Correct. Clone Rhoda. Okay. Jonathan, I can say that. So what are you going, 16 1/4?
Yeah.
Measure my moment to make sure it's 16 1/4. I think it is. Yeah, use that fancy ruler you got.
16 1/4. Now the fancy one's a little bit short. It's a centering rule.
Yeah, centering in the trash.
And it works as long as you use it for what it's designed to be used for.
So tired. Stayed up till 4 o'clock last night.
Well, that sound like me.
Off goes your fingers. For the guys who just joined, John's got a jig here for push rods, and I'll explain it to you again because we got more watchers now.
These push rods, one more time here.
Here, let me get a better look at this. Let me get this thing down lower, up too high. It's the garage settings. Okay, there we go.
I made this board up. We'll unscrew this right here, just right now. It's just a piece of scrap
MDF.
lumber I have laying around, and I drilled an anchor hole down here at the bottom, so you make up half your push rod, and you screw it down here. Whether it's an L angle, you make up whatever it takes here to hold that L angle, or however you're doing your push rod. It just so happen to be ball length push rods. Okay, so on your airplane, if your airplane has a hinge line to hinge line that's 17 inches, you screw this other half into the 17-inch mark, which is as far as 17, 16, 3/4, 16 and a half, all the way down to 16. Outside one 17 and a half. So screw this into whatever you want to. Then you can hold this up here. And once that's in there, that'll tell you how long you need to cut that push rod off to make it the proper length push rod. So once you got it cut off, and when you glue these things in there, they'll hydraulic out of there. You put the glue in there and it'll sort of force its way out of there. So you need some way to lock it in there until it dries. So this then also works for that. So this push rod is going to be 16 1/4. So I can get that my JB weld all over that, slither it all up. Screw this down into here, into this little piece of junk wood.
That doesn't qualify as wood. That's cardboard.
Well, paper, glued paper. And that locks that rod up there so you can't hydraulic out of there. Now I make these little aluminum ends, which is just aluminum tubing, about 1 inch long, and I made it. Might as well tell you all of it. I made this little mandrel up, and it's just a piece of brass rod that's got a sort of tapered and a little center pin, 1/8-inch pin, like, and then it's tapered. And then you can slide that aluminum tube down on there, and then I chuck everything together and leave that stick past that taper just to flush with it, and lock that up in my lathe. And that crimps both these together and they spin. Then I take a couple pieces of wood, one on each side of that, and I squeeze it together and it sort of rounds the end of that down to that shape. And what that does is when you put this over here, it catches on this little insert and then it glues to the shaft. Now it's doing two things. It's keeping that insert from coming out by a double glue joint, and all these rods have the grain in this running lengthwise, so they're prone to split. If you don't put something on there, wrap it with string or put one of these little ferrules like on there, it can split. So I make a little ferrule. It doesn't take much of a little angle, and the heat, that wood on each side, I use maple, but you can use any hardwood, and it sort of squeezes that a little bit so it catches that. So it'll only go down on there that far, and you glue it on there, and then you're done. So I can glue this on afterwards, or I can glue it on right when I glue all this stuff together. But afterwards, you just unscrew the ball link, slide it on there with glue under it, and carry on. But that's it. And that just makes a little push rod thing and scrap piece of wood and a few holes and a 440 tap, and you're in there. This isn't a wasted piece of rod. This will be used for bell crank push rod somewhere along the line. But I'm going to make up one of these out of a piece of aluminum just because I can. And I want one that, just is more permanent. Not that I'll ever wear it out. It's like a champion that beats having to set a couple books up here on it or clamp it in between something or whatever to keep that from. That's that.
Does your other one that you're building have wing mounted gear? No. Are you gonna make wing mounted gear in this wing?
In that wing?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. It's easier to sand with this green. Tell you what, for you guys who use spray shine, the minute that you can touch the airplane, you better start sanding.
Start sanding, yeah. That's a fact. I started to use this Canopy on there. And I really wanted one of them P51 canopies with the outline of the...
How much does Brodeck want for them now? 20 bucks?
I never even called them to ask. I had this from the hobby shop. And it won't fit on there.
That's a P47 canopy.
Yeah, sorta, yeah.
SIG World War II canopy.
Yeah.
That's what I used on my Thunderbolt, but I painted the frame on it.
I wanted the round front with the framework in it, not this flat spot. And look at that, $6.90. And I'll bet you that thing that was bought a year ago. I'll bet you those are $12 now.
Let's go, Brendan!
It really did us up good. Sorry about the mess, guy. My table's sort of messy right now. That right there, now I'm guaranteed a 16.25-inch push rod.
You know that this paint bubbled right there on the cap strip from just that little heat I put on it? Right there.
Yeah.
I'll have to fix that.
You still have the thinner in it. Probably almost caught on fire.
Feel it?
Yeah, I can see it.
That was already there.
I'll try to sand it out. Right there where your nose, right there.
I'll get it fixed.
You can get them as good as you want. There's a dent right there. That's just hanger rash already.
Yeah.
Look, I got a hanger rash on this, and it's not even glued on the airplane yet. Yeah, a bunch of little.
Yeah. But they're easier to fix now.
Yeah, yeah. I'd rather be fixing it at that point than that point. That's pretty amazing how much this stuff weighs. And these are all built up, and I'm almost 4 ounces. All built up. They're hollow, basic, essentially. No foam. 16th inch ribs. It's frustrating. Going through my blocks trying to find a Canopy block, something light. Well, they're either a 1/4 inch too small, or they have some other thing wrong with it. It's got a big knot in it. And not to mention that it's probably 8-pound wood. And even though you're hollowing this little canopy section out of this, it's still made out of 8-pound wood. And it weighs more than one that was built out of 3-pound wood, 4-pound wood. So that goes. I'm not a big advocate of being able to sand any weight off of an airplane unless you got a solid chunk of wood that you got to hollow completely out. If you think you're going to take an airplane and a finish and all that stuff and sand an ounce off of it, I want to see you do it. I'm like Robert from the Show Me State. Show me that you could sand an ounce of weight off that airplane and paint.
No way. No way.
It doesn't happen. Guess I could show them how to make one.
Why is it deleted? Uh-oh. Hey, Jonathan. I accidentally timed you out. Sorry about that. 330 seconds. 300 seconds. How long is that? That's quite a while. 5 minutes. 6 times 5 is 30. I don't know. I apologize. Stupid YouTube. Come on.
Well, it doesn't affect us any. It affects you by not being able to see where you.
No, he can't chat. I apologize.
Chat. Oh, okay.
View deleted message. Let's see if I can unhide this user. There you go. There it is. View deleted message. Yeah, sorry about that. I pushed the wrong button on my phone. But we've been on 34 minutes. I don't know.
You might have to hold this by hand for this. What I want to show you is how I roll this little end over to make this. Am I holding that in the right spot?
Yeah.
And I see it. See how this is sort of rolled over here, a little radius on it, and then this is an 1/8 inch pin. That 1/8 inch pin is the hole that this push rod piece goes into. But anyway, when you put that over that rod and everything, that's got to go through there. And what that little radius on the end of it does is it catches on that piece so it can't come through there. See, it stopped it. It can't come through there then. And that's what keeps it from pulling out of the rod. So this one hasn't been done yet. So what we'll do is we'll go over here. We'll go over here and we'll show you how I round that.
My fingers are fat.
Probably have to get her out over there.
Okay.
Alright, so what I got here, I got this lathe set up. I got my little aluminum collet. I'm going in the chuck with both pieces of this. Now I'm going to push this in here until that little radius is all the way inside that aluminum tube. Now I'm just going to lightly...
It probably was funny, but YouTube didn't think it was funny.
Alright, then I got these pieces of wood. I'm going to start the lathe up. I'm just squeezing this with my hands. And the heat from the friction of the...
You know, you could do it easier than that.
The wood.
Like turning a cowl. Run the carriage up there and just take one end and put it up there. It's like spinning a cowl.
Yeah, I could spin the thing, but this works pretty good. And see, it sort of rounded that end over. And now it won't slide all the way onto that rod. So it made that end smaller, and that's what you want. It didn't crack it, didn't do it enough to crack it or bend it. But if you try to squeeze that too small, it will. But you need to leave at least an 1/8 inch hole in here so that the threads can go through it. So that's what you end up getting.
Do that and the same thing in a drill press.
Yeah, a hand drill, a drill press. It's all sort of the same. This thing.
Right on what?
On here. So there's what it ends up looking like. Like that, just get the ball and thread it on there. Not glued in there yet, but gives you the idea of what's going on. So you end up with a Nice looking ball link. These look great on the outside of a profile airplane and stuff like that because it's so much neater than just string wrapped around there or Kevlar thread or whatever. To me, it's easier. These are cut about an inch long. Piece of aluminum doesn't weigh nothing.
Everything weighs something.
Well, yeah, using it against me, my own saying. Everything weighs something, and it does. But I can't screw that thing on there far enough right now. Thing will end up like that when all's said and done. Don't really have to screw that in all the way. All you have to do is whatever little air pressure's in that tube, you gotta keep that from pushing that out of there. That'd be that. You want me to see if it's 10 months and so that's a long piece pipe, John. Yeah, well, actually, it's smaller than this is 65 pipe. It's smaller than the 75 pipes.
By 100,000ths. 1/10.
And shorter, that pipe will be probably that long. 20 some inches, 22 inches, I think I ended up out at.
On a 75? That's too long.
Mm-mm.
Is that what Randy said?
Yeah.
I thought he said 18 and a half.
22 and a half. Well, I started out at 19 and a quarter and 8,700 RPM, and that doesn't match up. It's whatchamacallit on the pipe. It's back feeding on the pipe at that length. So to quit the charging, they call it charging. When it's back feeding too much on the pipe, the bounce back of the wave is too much, you lengthen the pipe. So I kept lengthening it. And it still charges just a little bit, ever so slightly. So I could probably go out another 1/4 of an inch. But to keep it from charging, that's what you gotta do.
You'll have 3 airplanes. 3 new airplanes next year. Well, maybe 2.
Could be 4. Cause I got the Sunoco airplane in there that's pretty new. Although it's 5 years old.
Yeah.
Then I got the plane I built last year.
That started 4 years ago.
Yeah, well, 3 years ago probably. Yeah. Let's see, I started it before the year for last.
Yeah.
I started that airplane with that airplane.
You started it with my Tucker, didn't you?
Yeah, right at the end of the Tucker build, or halfway into it, or somewhere around in there. And then I got that SV over there, and then this plane, plus the Liberty.
Well, at least if you hit the ground, you got an extra one.
That's one way of looking at it. Don't want to hit the ground, though.
You're looking for that airplane that flies itself. My XL, when it was first finished, that's that airplane. After, it's not the same.
I haven't had one that flew itself.
You
So
could,
you want one that'll lock in there.
yeah, you could
and
turn
it
your
won't
back and,
hunt. You just hold your hand level and that's just gonna fly level.
yeah.
Coming off the board and having that happen off the board, I have maybe 1 in 20. No matter how accurate I tried to build and jig it, always.
Yeah, I got a feeling this one's gonna be close to my XL. Oh, this will be better than the Tucker. I'm making it heavier. No thing. And then it goes, it slides. I don't like that sliding. I want it to go, what?
Well, you're not gonna make one of these a 35 size airplane. That ain't gonna happen.
My XL is pretty damn close, or it was.
And going tail heavy only works to a certain point.
I know.
And then it just becomes unstable and they hunts all the time and you constantly have to fly the airplane everywhere you point it at. And
You want it nose heavy, but light enough to turn that corner. It's got to have directional stability, so it has to be little nose heavy.
right. But the lighter you make it, the faster it'll turn a corner.
Right.
No matter what you do.
And recover.
Yeah, the old barbell effect. You get that weight of moving, you got to stop it. You got to start it, you got to stop it.
I think what's going to happen with this one, to be honest, when I go to St. Louis, is I'm going to touch the orange up, touch the canopy up, touch that dent up, touch that dent up, respray those, sand the whole airplane, and shoot it again with another coat of clear. Didn't gain an ounce today, you know.
Well, the more clear you put on it, the better the finish will sand out.
Do that before because that ink line's on it. Now the ink lines are sealed, so I can go ahead and sand it again. I don't, I think that for an outstanding finish, I'm going to have another coat of clear on it. Sand and another coat of clear. Just like I did with the Monado.
Well, baby grand piano might have 1,000 coats of clear on it.
I know.
You need to make even that depth.
Yeah.
Because that's what gives you your depth. You can get a turd to shine. You don't have to put clear on there to make it shine.
No, I can make it
He
shine.
knows that because the paint itself is basically clear with color added to it. It's dope as dope as dope. It'll come up to shine. It just won't have depth where you're looking through the clear and
Or I could shoot a coat of automotive clear on it.
look that thick.
Yeah.
It probably is. But that doesn't make it right, and that doesn't, it's heavy. Even if you weighed that thing right after you sprayed a coat of clear on it, weighed an ounce, it's going to gas off 50% of that, probably.
No. It only gases off maybe 1/10 of what it.
Well, I'm talking being wet. From spraying it, being wet. If you could weigh it right then and there while it was still soaking wet, then you're going to have some thinner gas off on it. You probably be able to weigh it, the amount of thinner the gas off of it. These coats, that clear that you shot on there was at least 80% thinner. At least. And you shot almost a half a
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly thinner.
Yeah.
So it still don't have any paint on it. Thinner gas is off. Only leaves whatever substrate was in it. Doesn't increase the amount of substrate or anything.
When I bring it back next time, it'll be beautiful. Don't know what it'll weigh, but it'll be beautiful. It'll probably be 56 ounces.
I was expecting it to come out about 60. Considering that, but you replace some of the wood, you use it a little bit different, more wood, different wood, lighter wood.
You gotta do what you gotta do to get it to where you.
I can tell you right now that you won't build this airplane with the wood I built this airplane out of any lighter than I built that.
It's all in the finish.
Well, I can do the 6 ounce finish. That's not my problem. But I got to get this to weigh 45 ounces, ready to frickin' fly.
45? No, it's gonna be 35.
Or 35, yeah. With no engine and stuff in it.
35 and 22 is 57. No, it's gotta be lighter than that.
It's got to be 32 ounces.
Let's see here. I'll tell you exactly what it has.
30 ounces would be better. If you could build this airplane at 30 ounces. With
28
no
would be even better.
Yeah.
So we got, you want it at 50, let's say 56 ounces. 56 minus 6 for the finish equals minus 22 equals. Got to be 28 ounces with the wheels and everything. 28 ounces. No finish, no engine. For 56. With a 20, but you're going to have a 24 ounce power plant because of the pipe.
Yeah.
So let's see, we got, let's make it reasonable, 58 ounces. Well, minus 24 ounces equals minus 6. Still 28 ounces.
I want to see something here while we're on this subject.
You gotta take your engine out.
No, I'm gonna leave the engine in there for right now.
Okay.
You need that top block on it to have an elevator. I just want to see where I'm at right now.
Gotta add the pipe and the tank. Just get a number on it. What is it now? We'll just add it together.
$10.98 right at this second. $11,61168. Yeah.
Just weigh the tank.
Thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah, kind of.
Pop a hole in anything.
Yeah, kind of figured it. 1168 plus. You didn't hurt it.
What were we lacking? The tank?
Tank. You gotta have the bung on there too. And the fuel line. You're gonna add more? Yeah, and a prop. That'll tell you how much you can do and finish. 2 ounces.
$125.
Plus 125 equals $12.93. Divide that by 28.33 equals 45. That's 45 ounces. Plus 6. There's something you're forgetting.
Add 2 ounces of mystery weight to it.
51 plus 2 is 53. You're forgetting something. That's 53 ounces.
Tip weight.
Do you have the cowl on there?
Yeah, the cow's bolted to it.
No glass, no.
No glass.
So we'll add a 3/4 of an ounce of tip weight plus 0.75 because you run more than that. You did something wrong. That's 54.
Well, let's start all over again. We'll just do this in segments this time instead of trying to balance all this stuff out. This is all the hinges, the wire, the stab and elevator.
The horn?
It's around here, so it fell off somewhere. Or is it over there?
I don't think you had the horn on it.
There it is.
You're going to be on your spinner there. Spinner nut.
It's in there. Control horn.
Push rod. Push rod's an ounce and a quarter.
That's 11.8 right there. The 334 grams. Wait, let's stick this on there. Try to get as many missile on. 389 grams.
389.
Alright, take that off, all this stuff off. 389.
Plus the top lock. Put that on there.
Okay, that's on 0.
It's missing it. Just weigh that separate.
$998.
$13.87.
Now the only thing we haven't got, did you get a push rod weight in there?
No.
You got the push rod weight.
Let's see. 30. That's 14.17
Tip weight.
plus 0.75. 14.1775.
Another ounce for the bung and the
Plus 28.33. 14.46.
got a couple of wire ties to the pipe.
We'll say plus 1/2 ounces. Plus 15. 14.61. divide by 28.33 equals 51.57 plus 6 ounce finish. That's 57 ounces.
I can live with that.
Got super fill and some other shit to go on there for say an ounce in that. 58 ounces.
I'm gonna be hitting 60 ounces, which is what I thought.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. As long as it ain't 64. I'll let you fly my high roller. You can tell the difference in a heartbeat between 64 and 56.
Well, I got a 74 ounce airplane in there. I've been flying for a long time. I know what a heavy airplane feels like. I know what the difference between that pencil or a Sunoco airplane in there weighs 63, I think. And it's like a light switch moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't yank you all over the place. It's actually fun to fly because you don't have to sit here and be pulling on all that damn weight
330.
to be able to just fly the thing. It adds some fun back into rather than work. You know, you fly 5 flights on that 75 ounce airplane and see how you feel opposed to, and then go out and fly your 35 size airplane. You know, you can fly it 15 times. It makes a difference. It definitely does.
Do some colors weigh more?
Yes.
I have to find a table, but I can't find it under the junk.
Yeah, there's crap everywhere. No matter how much room you got, you always.
Let's see. Do some colors weigh more? Yes. White is the heaviest. Black is the lightest. But don't paint your airplane plain black because you ain't good enough to make it work. Trust me.
You can't see black airplane anyway.
White is the most forgiving color. It's the one you can see too. Then it would be light blue and yellow.
Orange.
Yeah, orange covers the best. I'd say it's probably the lightest. I don't know. Orange or black are probably the lightest.
I really feel that you want to paint your plane colors that you can see in low light conditions.
Yeah.
And black just turns black. Camouflage does actually camouflage. Especially if you got, as in most places, you got some kind of a tree background that's green.
Huntersville, Brodax.
Everything you got to, unless you're way up in the air, straight
Booter
above.
Park.
But that's why that plane's probably those colors in the most part. Over the years, find the colors that are highly visible. Now, you can get into a world of discussion when it starts getting into paint jobs and that kind of stuff, because paint jobs, for one, can either be very appealing to the eye or very appealing to the judges. certain things you do to your airplane can affect.
Change your name to Bill Warwich, Paul Walker, Bob Hunt.
It can affect how you're scored.
Yeah, big time.
If you put a big long parallel stripe down the side of your fuselage that's parallel with the fuselage, it looks like a big arrow. It'll show every bounce, bobble, bad turn, everything on that airplane, because you'll see that thing flying along like that, and if it's like that, it'll show it. But if it's at an angle like this to begin with, it doesn't show it as much.
Yeah.
Like when you come down on a curve and you come down like this, it was already at that angle come down here. When you come out, it looks like that, so it doesn't deviate or show your flight path. Just like one year I was over there at the Nats, and it wasn't the Nats, it might have been FCM, but they caught, no, they really caught it, but they swore that they were doing it. They were judging the smoke trail out of the pipe. And you can't judge the smoke trail out of the pipe because it's in the wind and it goes up and down and does all sorts of weird things. And
Were you there the year the guy had the triplane made out of arrow shaft push rods?
I wasn't there that year, but I was at Brodack and he brought that airplane to Brodack. The plane flew great. Oh yeah, no flaps, and but 3 wings, yeah.
And 3 motors.
Yeah, all the wires and all that stuff just
Yeah.
looked like an old-fashioned.
He had an engine, or 1 or 2 engines quit on the L-pad, Circle 1. He was inverted. He did an outside loop below ground level. He stepped off to the edge of the circle below ground level and come around and then landed.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal
He
flight.
would have never got scored for that airplane, but it did fly good.
Yeah, but he got no appearance points for it.
He built it, so he had to get something.
Well, he got something, but he'd been back row.
Yeah, it wasn't a good-looking airplane, but it was really innovative.
He had all sorts of weird stuff like that. I think he had a 5-wing airplane one time they took to Brodacks. He had a couple different ones that were like that. One of them, the wings flew off of it, if I remember right. That's been 20 years ago. I can't remember.
Were you there the year the Brazilians had all the trouble with glue problems?
Yeah. They were in the big van.
Yeah.
They had P-51 Mustangs and Tucanos.
A wing came off and down the ground, the fuselage went, yeah, stick.
That Tucano was a copy of mine. Well,
Yeah.
sort of a copy. It's a different model.
I saw one, that picture one. It looked pretty good.
It looked all right. I didn't like the way they did the turtle deck. This like on this one, this is just like my big one. This turtle deck got just a very little teeny bit of a swoop in it. Theirs come off this canopy and it really went down.
Yeah, I remember
And
seeing
come
it.
back up. And that was a different model than this was like one of the first Tucanos.
The reason why you don't fly that one is it's too heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much does it weigh?
I don't know. I've never really actually flown it too many times. It's only been flown for half a dozen times. But it's got a Super Tiger 46 in it, and it really needs an LA 46 or 60. Put Super Tiger 60 in.
Put PA 75 in there.
Yeah,
Make it fly good.
Good. Now the other Tucano, it's a lot bigger. See, that was meant to be the 40 size Tucano. But the 60 size Tucano was a big airplane. Had a huge fuselage on it. A lot bigger wings. Looked the same.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. We've been on almost an hour. I'm going to head back to the casa and take a nap. All right, we'll see you later on this evening. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Toodles.